Happy Tuesday, everyone. This week we're going to talk about the difference between common control and individual control whenever you're running more than one fan. Common control is the gauge and fan configuration that we're going to use when we're testing a large space. So if we're doing a whole building test, common control is what we're going to use there. That's where we have one gauge telling all of the fans what to do. So in this scenario, we'll do what we call daisy chaining the fans together. So the first fan on the line will have a Cat5 cable coming in from the top of the first DM32, and then we'll use the out port on the fan to connect another Cat5 cable going into the in port of the next fan. So when you hear someone saying daisy chaining the fans together, that's what we're doing. We're setting up the fans for a common control setup. It's really important to set these fans up this way when you're doing a whole building test, because this keeps the fans from fighting each other, and you can safely start the fans up all at once. With other manufacturers, you have to use some type of splitter, or you have to uncover each fan one by one to keep them from getting pulled in the opposite direction. With this common control daisy chaining setup with Retrotec, you avoid all of that. All the fans are going to run at the same speed at the same time, and you can start them all up all at once, so you can run your test a lot faster. And when you're in your fantastic software, make sure you are set up for common control. That'll help the software run all of those fans at the same rate at the same time. However, there is also individual control. That's when we're using more than one fan to run two different zones. So for example, say behind me we have two different townhouses. Say this is unit 1 and this is unit 2. And we have a divider wall between the two, and we want to run a guarded test, and we only care about the data we collect on this one, but we want to neutralize the wall in between using this fan. That's when we'll use an individual control setup. So instead of daisy chaining the fans together, each fan will have its own DM32 telling it what pressure to go to. This way we can get each individual zone at the desired target pressure. So we'll use that Cat5 cable in our umbilical to go from the top of the DM32 into the in port of each fan. And of course, in our fantastic software, we'll make sure that we are using the individual control setting. That way the software knows to let each DM32 run each of its fans to the desired pressure that we want to test to. So that's the difference between common and individual control. Common control, that's when we're doing a whole building test or testing one large space with multiple fans. Individual control is when we're doing separate zones that are separated by a common wall of some sort, where we need to have each fan or maybe some different groups of fans achieving the same target pressure for two different zones. Sometimes we run into this in a whole building test. Sometimes the spaces will be separated by a wall and we can't open up a door or open up a large enough air pathway. So we need to run that individual control so that we can achieve pressure uniformity throughout the building. Next week, we'll dive a little bit deeper into the fantastic software. We haven't done any Technical Tuesdays on that yet. We've had some requests come in for it. So we'll go over some basics and then show how to run tests in a couple of different ways. Thank you all for watching Technical Tuesdays. We'll catch you back here again next week.